YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 news video. Alright folks, well, we're going to go down the rabbit hole once again and talk about the summer DLC and also the fall DLC. Any moment, we should be getting some sort of reveal, more than likely this week, and whenever it hits, I will be streaming it live right here on YouTube. In this video, we will reference some of the leaks, but more importantly, we're going to take information from the game and also the big teaser we got from Bungie, which I will discuss in a little bit here, and extrapolate and put all of the information together because it's all starting to make sense. And I really think there's one critical thing that everyone missed, and one of you guys slid into my DMs over on Instagram and brought this all to my attention, and then of course I had to go down the rabbit hole. Well, if you want to follow me on Instagram at Mesa_Sean. Yeah, Mesa Sean was taken, although I have Mesa Sean over on Twitter. Alright, let's get into the video. If you enjoy it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and also real quick guys, this is not a sponsor or anything like that. Numbskull, they make a lot of cool Destiny related stuff. They make t-shirts, they make coffee mugs, they make keychains with little ghost shells, sweaters, cups, all sorts of stuff. Well, they sent me these cute little tubs, T-U-B-B-Z, which are cosplaying duck collectibles. And they sent me Cade 6, Lord Shax, Eris Morn, and also the Sweeper bot. So check them out. I'll put the link in the description. Again, this is not sponsored. They just said, hey, we like your content. Do you mind if we send you over some free stuff? And I said, yeah, sure. So I took a look at them. They look pretty cool, and I'll put the link in the description for everything. All right, let's get into the video. So we got Swimish over here. He DMs me and he says, we're going to Enceladus, and I think that's how you pronounce it, and the Deep Stone Crypt next season, and I can prove it. And I say how with the emoji. So we start going back and forth discussing his hypothesis, and it all makes sense. And he also points out one critical thing that in Bungie's teaser on Friday directs us to something else. Hold on, this is all gonna make sense real soon, guys, okay? They definitely gave us a clue within that particular audio transmission. Let's listen to it. First off, this 100%, I'm pretty sure it is the same exact sounds that you hear when you complete the Garden of Salvation raid. If you listen to the end, right after you kill the boss and you drop down and you see the good old, hopefully that's called a Veil statue or represents the Veil or the pyramid ships. Now let's move into an article from Paul Tassi, Destiny 2's Season of the Deep, evidence for the Deep Stone Crypt. And make sure you follow him on Twitter. I will link him and also this article in the description. He writes a ton about Destiny 2, and he's usually dead on with all of his articles. Now, he's going to reference a few things which we're going to discuss here and go through, but there is one critical thing, and that's kind of the clue here, where I think it was missed by everyone, including Paul, including myself, including everyone, because everywhere I searched, I could not find this particular clue, or that Bungie is indeed trying to tell us something or where we are going next season. Now, Paul says in his article, we have very little to go on, a single image, which we're going to refer to in a second here, a cryptic this week at Bungie, and some spooky sounds, and yet I think I have cracked it. And I think you did too, Paul, but look at this here, Stardust tease. We're going to talk about this one in a little bit here, because right after I tweeted out that I'm working on this video, Galaxy Guy over on Twitter, I will link him in the description, tweeted me out a really interesting Reddit post, which talks a little bit more about the teases with regards to the season. But let's get back to Paul's article. So Paul says, here is my grand theory that I think we're heading into Season of the Deep in Destiny 2. And he says, well, it might not be called that, which will focus on the Deep Stone Crypt. Now, in previous leaks that I covered from, Reddit and 4chan and things like that, Season of the Deep was one of the names that did come up about a month ago. So Paul revisits, well, what is the Deep Stone Crypt? And he says, in short, the secret facility from the Golden Age where the Exos were created. Practically nothing is known about it, including where it is, and it's been one of the most persistent mysteries in Destiny. We've explored the mysteries of the Awoken with great detail at this point, but not with the Exos, not so much. Back during Forsaken, Cade sent a coded message to Petrovenge, and I will link a article or page from Destinypedia which goes over the Deep Stone Crypt and what we know about it. And he said, well, that message was, if the sun over Nessus escapes nebula cycle, evac labor after dawn under solstice. The code, the first letter of each word, complex code there, spells out it's on Enceladus. And it's thought that Cade is referring to a mission where he is trying to locate the Deep Stone Crypt where he was created. Now, Enceladus is one of the moons of Saturn, and it's kind of like Titan. It's one of the 6th largest moons of Saturn. And I found this old concept art of, I think it's part of, well, when I looked up the image, it said Enceladus on it. Or when I Googled it, this image came up here. And this one's been around for a very, very long time. And I am still on the tip that, that Titan's going to get nuked before the fall DLC. And perhaps this summer, they're wrapping things up with Titan, with maybe bringing in Enceladus as like a playable zone or something. I mean, they built the European aerial zone out of pretty much nothing. Yeah, I mean, you could say it's just reused assets from the European Dead Zone, but that place was pretty unique, so it would not surprise me if we get some sort of dungeon or even a raid this summer. I doubt a raid. I'm thinking more a dungeon, the Deep Stone Crypt, coming this summer. When I talk about Stardust, well, that also reminds me of, well, what happens when a planet blows up, a la Star Wars? Well, you're going to see Stardust. Anyway, that'll make sense when I go over this Reddit thread towards the end of the video. Anyway, here's where it gets really interesting and this weird secret clue that I think no one picked up on. So the actual video that they posted to the Twitter feed was exactly 1 minute and 14 seconds. Now, after this, including Paul's article, everyone starts bringing up this video here, the eerie sounds of Saturn. And I don't want to play it because I don't want to get copyright struck. But everyone's saying, well, the sound from the Destiny video does kind of sound like the eerie sounds of Saturn. I'll link this video in the description. I can kind of hear it, but I don't really think so. But here's the clue, and I think this is where Bungie specifically put this out there to make us go to this video and realize, yeah, Saturn is going to be in play this season. The reason why? Because the video on their Twitter feed and also Facebook and whatever places, like I said, they end at 1.14 seconds. If you go to the Eerie Sounds of Saturn video, that sound, or the eerie sounds of Saturn that kind of sound like the Destiny video, they will end at 1 minute and 14 seconds. Right after that, all of a sudden, it goes into just other weird sounds from Saturn. That is what Swimish pointed out over on Instagram to me. So to me, putting 2 and 2 together, let me know if I'm reaching here. I don't think I am, but sound off in the comment section. There's no way that it's a coinky-dinky that short clip from Twitter from Bungie is 1 minute and 14 seconds, and then right in that eerie sounds of Saturn at 1 minute and 14 seconds, all of a sudden, those eerie sounds change into something else. Sound off in the comment section. Am I reaching? Back to Paul's article here. So when we look at the header for the recent This Week at Bungie, everything about this image screams arcology, arcology, arcology. And if we look at the concept art, or if you just Google search Destiny 2 arcology, you get these images here. So Paul writes, many have remarked that the pattern looks somewhat like the arcology symbol, yet another connection to Saturn. I also think the crisp look of the banner distinctly looks Golden Age and Robotech-ish. And Deej wrote this twab, the master of trickery, and he titled one of the subsections Diving Deep. Well, we've heard that term before. diving deep into the arcology. Could be a coincidence, but with all these other hints, Paul says, I don't think so. Paul also brings up some great points regarding connections to this season. And he says in one of the early Anna Bray cutscenes this season, she talks about she and Rasputin have been searching for the Deep Stone Crypt, actually name-dropping the place for the first time I can remember in Destiny history outside of lore pages. So if the Almighty is taken care of, and it's possible that Rasputin and Anna transition back into that search, or reveal that they found it, then that's where we're going next. We also have had an entire season-ending quest with Rasputin's exo-son Felwinter, which could act as a bridge to a chapter of Destiny about the Deep Stone Crypt. It is possible that Rasputin wants to find the crypt in order to fully bring Felwinter back, as he now regrets killing him. And to Paul and to me also, it all adds up to Saturn, Enceladus, to the Deep Stone Crypt as being a focus for next season, and maybe with some greater implications, as Paul says, for the fall expansion. He also brings up the fact that we really haven't explored the Exo lore. In Forsaken, we explored the Awoken lore. Well, maybe now it's time to explore the Exos. And actually, looking at more detail of this image, when I looked at it on Fandom, or Destiny Fandom, it says the Cassini, that's the ship here, was speculated to be the name of a derelict spaceship in the location near Saturn where players could travel to, and this was actually hinted at the GDC 2013 panel. So my speculation is we're going to get something this summer that's going to relate to Titan that will be a playable space, or maybe even a dungeon, the Deep Stone Crypt, or maybe the 6-player activity will be the Deep Stone Crypt. Previous leaks that called this Season of the Deep, I made a full video on it. I'll try to find it and link it in the description or annotate it at the end of the video. I talked about this entire leak where they talk about Season of the Deep, and they did talk about a 6-player activity. However, they said that the 6-player activity will involve the actual pyramid that's on the moon and kind of setting things up for what's going to happen this fall when we do encounter the Veil. And here's that typical screenshot that I always show of what we think the Veil might look like. It's just concept art from Bungie. Let's wrap it up with talking about this Stardust thing here, and this does check out. This is legit. If you go to the Facebook link, which I will link in the description of the Reddit thread, well, when you click on it, it brings you to Facebook. You do see the ominous video with the pyramids and the creepy sounds. It does say, well, Stardust tease. It says it right there on screen. It's still there right now. This could be like a placeholder or something. But let me read you this Reddit thread from Galaxy Guide YouTube. Again, I feel like we're blowing up something, and I feel like Titan's getting blown up. But anyway, so Galaxy Guy over on Reddit, he says, well, Stardust quite definitely won't be the next expansion's name, but maybe just a code for it probably. And he says, what is this in reference to? Well, he says, well, it comes from Star Wars Rogue One. Stardust was the code name given to the Death Star plan's blueprint found in the base of SCUF. The whole idea getting the Death Star plan blueprints was to find the flaw within the battle stations to destroy it. He says, one, so why is this really important? And he says, well, there's more likely a flagship coming next expansion, which would be the main focus. Perhaps this could allude to the idea of the coming story expansion. Perhaps there will be the plans we have to steal to destroy or stall this flagship. These plans could come from Mara if her battle was truly between her and the darkness. And it makes sense because we always see one huge pyramid ship and then a whole bunch of little pyramid ships flying around it. Galaxy Guy continues with, Stardust could very well be the codename for the massive weapon/ship, like how it means Death Star in Star Wars. Perhaps the audio we were given was the ambience inside the weapon or ship, of which we will hear next September. And then 3, last thing is, Stardust could mean a certain person or character, since in Rogue One, Galen Erso, father of Jyn Erso, calls his daughter Stardust in a taped hologram in the planet of Jeddah, I think it is. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't like Rogue One. I sort of geeked out once I heard that name. I am the biggest Star Wars nerd, but it was cool collecting all of this together. And look, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd myself. You cannot beat me at Trivial Pursuit. Do people even play Trivial Pursuit when it comes to the old Holy Trilogy? But any of the new ones, the Disney ones, I don't know. I don't like them at all. All right, enough of my rant, guys. The end of the video. do me a favor. This video has gone on too long, so if you made it to the end, leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end. If you did make it to the end, if you'd like to further support this channel and become a channel member and join an awesome Destiny 2 Mesa Army community over on Discord, click the link in the description or click join on screen. And we have an awesome clan for PC, Xbox, and PS4 that the channel members set up. All right, guys, so keep it locked in here. I will be streaming this week if we get any type of reveals, or obviously something's got to happen with the Almighty on Tuesday, so I might as well just fire up the stream at reset on Tuesday, and I stream live right here on YouTube. All right, guys, drop a like on this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Usually know it's on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.